Look at, they have Jesus Christ in the index. No. He was a Jewish healer and teacher whose doctrines formed the basis for the Christian religion. Oh. Bethlehem, Judea, proclaimed by most Christians as the Messiah and the Son of God, also called Jesus of Nazareth. hmm Then you have the apostles, the Baptists, Bethlehem, the Bible, Christ and the pilgrims of Emmaus, yeah. Christ appearing to his mother. Oh, Christ healing the sick. Oh, let's see here. Picture Christianity. Christ in the temple. Saint Christopher. Oh, crucifixion. And then there's the date of his birth, Galilee, the Gospels, Herod, incarnation. Yeah. Judas Iscariot, Lent, Mary, Passion, Peter, picture in the Wandering Jew legend. You know, this Jesus, yeah, I often talk about him. He's very important to me. He had this problem that he was falsely accused of a crime, yes, and he was crucified. Now, let's say somebody fabricated some evidence against Jesus. He said he was the Son of God. Yes. Upset those of his day. And they said, well, we're going to have to crucify you because we have to please the people. Now, there's another institution that a lot of nations have, and I'm sure that as a royal family you can appreciate who they are. Yes. It's called the Internal Revenue Service. Could you get me the police of IRS? Now, let's say, yes, that you committed forgery and fraud. And you received all this money in bribery because you keep coming the money and the money's not accounted for as an income. It seems that a lot of police and sheriff's departments don't feel a need to pay taxes on all the money that you've been paid. Now, I'm going to want to know the Internal Revenue Service because there's a big possibility. Oh, here it is. Internal Revenue, United States Bureau of the U.S. Treasury Department. They're a Bureau of the U.S. Treasury Department. They administer the internal revenue laws. Yeah. They collect all the internal revenue taxes. Yes. And is supervised by a commissioner. It has 5 administrative divisions, collection district and field audit divisions. You know, let's say that as a homeless father, you have intentionally deprived my sons of any of the federal law's requirements for those that are children of homelessness. And I would say that since you falsified my identification and you've been sending all my court notices to Mike Van Proyn, yes, that I would have to email the Internal Revenue Service. Now, I did email them and I included some Internal Revenue Service laws about defrauding the United States of. I'd like to know the employees of the Internal Revenue Service. Yeah. For the last 50 years. Now, why don't you give me the children of those that are the children of the Internal Revenue Service? Yes. And every finger that stuck their finger in their anus. Ouch! And then I want all the signatures of all of those in athletics that are the children of the employees of the Internal Revenue Service. Yes. And then I want to know if you violate the rights of the employees of the Internal Revenue Service, is there a compulsion on the part of the United States federal government to have to enforce the rights of the employees of the Internal Revenue Service? Now, let's say I was an employee of the IRS and I found out that you decided to violate my rights when issuing a dissolution of marriage. Yes. Well, you didn't take into consideration I was homeless at the time of the issuance of it. This child support that I haven't been paying. Pouch! Now, I'm going to want to know every anus of every child of every employee of the IRS. Yes. Because I thought that as soon as you use forgery and fraud to kidnap children, yes, and then you were bribed because of the come to find out family's way of doing things, yeah, you haven't actually been paying income